Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live special with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by General Joe's REBORN.com. It's all kicking off, isn't it? Today, my goodness, I thought I'd probably go live tonight to talk about the bit of news that popped up earlier about the Hot Wheels Skystriker that just appeared out of nowhere. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that tonight later on. And then loads of stuff kind of popped up, which is kind of crazy pants. We'll get to that in a little bit, W. We're not talking about that just yet. So we've got multiple things that have happened. Obviously, more images of Blowtorch have popped up, courtesy of Jay Khan. So we're going to be talking about those. And also Iron Studios are just revealing left, right, and center, including a few little sneak peeks as well. Not sneak peek confirmed, but a few sneak peeks of upcoming statues they're working on. But yeah, we'll talk about it all tonight. It's a little bit of a late one. I don't want to stay too late because it's a school night, so we'll get stuck in with that Iron Studios chat first and foremost. Let's do it. Yeah, so like I said, 3 stories to get stuck into tonight, and we'll start with Iron Studios, who have basically, I think this has been sort of out and revealed for a while now, and I can't remember if I've actually. This is the funny thing. I know we talked about the Snake Eyes statue, but apparently this Storm Shadow one was revealed last month, and I missed that completely, or I didn't. And I did actually report on it, and I just can't remember. And I searched through all our weeklies, our recent weeklies. I couldn't find anything covering it. So either I tagged it onto the end of a news burst randomly, and I just couldn't find it, or I haven't spoken about it yet. But I do vaguely remember talking about this Storm Shadow statue, which is weird. In any case, they have a pre-order for Storm Shadow, a link in the description if you're interested. And on their socials, kind of like not too long ago, maybe like an hour or two ago, they posted not only the Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes statues they've already got out, but then also on top of that, a bunch of ones that they're kind of working on. So here's the Storm Shadow statue. There are loads more images, but I didn't want to bombard you with that. So we'll probably get all of those in for the weekly on Saturday, where Pat and I can probably talk a little bit in more detail about some of the details of the figure all over and everything. But it's the classic Storm Shadow design, sleeveless in Seattle, with his bow on the back, bow and an arrow on the back sort of situation. Sword out, and claws that synonymous with the second version of Storm Shadow. But in any case, we have these images to have a look at first and foremost. We also like these sexy product shots where they've got it in the outside with snow and a mountain and that. But just to show you, that is the exact statue that you would be getting on that sort of icy crag. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it looks pretty cool. And it's these are I forget how much they were now. It says 40 on the pre-order, but I think that's the down payment sort of scenario. Let me just double check, because I actually have it open here. Yeah, $40. So the full price will be $199.99. So just so you're aware, that is a sort of down payment for the pre-order that you're paying there. This is, I think, yeah, we've got images as well of the actual size compared to a human. 8.8 inches in height by 6.6 width and 6.5 depth. Should give you a good idea. They're 2 pounds in weight, so it's fairly hefty. Who's Icy Crag? Brilliant. I like it. Yes, so that's pretty much Storm Shadow. But on Storm Shadow, I've just turned into Sean Connery somehow. Storm Shadow. So that's Storm Shadow, the statue from Iron Studios. They've already obviously revealed and released as pre-order Snake Eyes and Timber. So now it's Storm Shadow's turn. And on top of that, they posted this earlier this evening. Iron Studios G.I. Joe collection. Obviously, you've got pre-orders open for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, as I've just mentioned already. And these cool little like file cards situations going on as well. Very much a let's take from the Hasbro materials guide, isn't it? Very much like the explosion in the background, the file card format, probably the information as well. But I like it. I like the fact they're doing that. It's kind of cute and fun. Although I will say, am I getting fatigued with this style? This style guide is great. It's the original G.I. Joe 3 3/4 style guide. I get it. The Hector Garrido card like explosions and stuff. I'm down with it. It's cool. It's brilliant. But my goodness, I am yearning for that card change up. Even like I know the digital explosion has just managed to squeeze its way in to Classified very recently with Mindbender and the Viper. But I feel like we need more. I feel like we need Ninja Force, we need Sonic Fighters, we need extra, we need crazy ass card backs, is what I'm saying, and that's what I'm hoping. In any case, that's the pre-orders. Now they also posted 3 statues that are incoming in the future, and here they are. We have what is obviously the Baroness and Destro here. It goes without saying. Although I say that, and then I realize, could it be Scarlet? No, I think that's a Baroness. What do you think? I think it's the Baroness and Destro, but it could be Scarlet and Destro, and I could have got that completely wrong. In my head, it just felt like the Baroness. The submachine guns, feels very Baroness. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments who you think that is. I'm pretty sure it's the Baroness. But then, of course, you've got Destro as well. Very clearly Destro. The giveaway is the collar, isn't it? Every single time. And what is most probably a briefcase going on down there as well. But they've got those in the works, as well as what I'm guessing is probably Flint, maybe, behind a wall getting shot at. Yeah, you're right. Scarlet would have a crossbow. Yeah, I'll trust my instincts. Thank you, Frank. But yeah, you're right. Definitely Baroness is Chris G. Cobra logo is in the corner. I didn't notice that. It's quite prominent as well. Thank you, Childish Landino. Yeah, I put them together because I was like just instantly assuming it was the Baroness. And then I had that horrible thought as I mentioned the Baroness's name out loud and looked at it and thought, oh, it's got a bit of Scarlet to her as well. But no, it's 100% the Baroness. And then this one, I think, is Flint up against the old a wall getting shot at. Chris G says definitely Flint as well. Okay, cool. It looks like he's holding his shotgun too. So it definitely does seem to be Flint in this one. And of course, more to come. So we have the Baroness, Destro, and Flint probably round the corner. With, of course, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow technically already available for pre-order. Link in the description for that Storm Shadow, of course. So that was the first news story of the day. I'll finish on Blowtorch. Gross. I will I will move on to now another pretty large sort of bit of news that popped up today, and that is that at One Stop Diecast and at Diecast Insider posted images of what appears to be multiple different types of Hot Wheels pop culture line, Hot Wheels premium pop culture line. One of which you had like, what is it? Oh goodness me, I've forgotten what the other ones were now. Masters of the Universe, Deadpool's like little scooter thing. Was the other one like Napoleon Dynamite or something? I can't remember what the other ones were, but they were like, oh no, it was like Old School, wasn't it? It was Old School, the movie Old School. It was like the van from Old School. Master of the Universe, G.I. Joe, and whatever I said before that I've completely forgotten. In any case, a few images popped up, one of which is of this, the Combat Jet Skystriker, Grumman F-14 Tomcat in its G.I. Joe livery, of course, with the G.I. Joe card back, with the explosions. Of course, every single company that utilizes the Joe license just delve into that classic Hasbro materials kind of, catalog, don't they, when they do all of this kind of stuff. Hello everyone in the chat. So I'm not in ignoring everyone in the chat. I should say hello everyone in the chat. There's a lot of you. I hope you're all doing very well tonight. Back to the Future was another one. Thank you, Airborne's Customs. Yes, but yeah, Old School was a funny one. That was a funny one to me. But I do love that movie. Anyway, Hot Wheels Premium. Now, some people were kind of looking at this, going, "Oh, this must be fake because it's Mattel." That's not the case, is it? Because quite a while way into last year, it was probably around SDCC, around that time, around summertime, wasn't it? Well, actually, it was closer to when Barbie was out, because Barbie did so well. It didn't take long for Hasbro and Mattel to strike up a little kind of like licenses partnership sort of deal, where they could use, Barbie for some of their products, and Mattel could use some of Hasbro's kind of catalog for their products. And one of the things that popped up was obviously Mega, which is a Mattel-owned company and brand. And Mega, obviously, we've had very recently the Duke, Ace, Skystriker, Cobra Commander, and Hiss Driver with Hiss kind of big set, haven't we? That kind of was available last year. So that was the first kind of hint of Mattel working with Hasbro in this kind of new partnership, this licensing agreement. It was basically, and again, it all came off the back of the very popular Barbie movie. And then, of course, following that, there were a lot of chat about, what else could Mattel use for the G.I. Joe license. Hot Wheels was one of the things that was mentioned, that was discussed, that was talked about. There'd already been like Transformers, Hot Wheels, and what have you. So it's not surprising to see G.I. Joe in this Hot Wheels sort of situation. Now, I was also sent an image. Shout out to Soda Popinski, who posted an image of Hot Wheels F14, which is effectively the same thing, but just with like different G.I. Joe bits on it. So it's a very simple, easy maneuver for Hot Wheels here. They just run those old F14s with the G.I. Joe kind of tampos on them and everything, and it's kind of like job's a jobbing, isn't it, really? Stick it on a different card back and you're laughing. So it's no surprise that we're getting the Skystriker as a kind of first sort of, G.I. Joe vehicle. I expect to see more of these. I do, and there's a close-up of it. I do expect to see more of these from Mattel and Hasbro. I do sort of expect, like, some sort of unique vehicles to be done, because obviously a lot of G.I. Joe stuff isn't like classic. I mean, the F14 very much works because they've already got one of these. They've already done an F14, and it makes sense because that's what the Skystriker effectively is. So what I expect to see in the future from this is probably more unique, but maybe this is a little testing the little waters here to see, what they'll be doing in terms of numbers with these kind of little figures. As you can see, I think that's a little flight stand as well, right? In there with it, which is kind of cool. I think it looks really nice. I imagine the wings fold out as well. Mainly based, I just assume that. I'm assuming that, Scott. I don't know if the wings are articulated or not. If anyone has a Hot Wheels F14 and you're in the chat, feel free to let us know. But I would assume that they do pull out and go in. They've even got the tampo of that happening on the top of the in between the wings there on the body, which is really cool. But yeah, I've got to admit, I was happy Jada Toys were doing mini vehicles. That lasted all of about a week. I was really hoping for more from them, honestly, in terms of the vehicles. We got like 20 odd blooming metal figurines and a couple of like mini, kind of like a figure and vehicle sets. I think, that pretty much stopped after. Was it Destro and the Hiss, Cobra Commander and the Stinger, Duke and the Vamp, and that was pretty much it for those. After we had the 20 packs and of the figures and the 3 packs of the Hollywood rides, and I kind of wish they'd done more. I wish we'd got to the Skystriker with them. I wish we'd got to multiple other vehicles. It would have been so much fun. I thought they were really cute. I really like the thought of a little mini collection of mini vehicles. And of course, obviously the figure and vehicle packs, the single packs, the vehicles were a different scale. They were much bigger. So I think they'll be very similar to that with the Hot Wheels kind of size. I don't know what the scale is with these ones, guys. I just don't. So unless we have people that have the F14 Skystriker, I'm going to assume it's probably going to be in the region of that single pack Jada Toys figure and vehicle size of the vehicle being quite bigger, a bit bigger. I don't think they'll be tiny. They're Hot Wheels, aren't they? So they're going to have some kind of like heft to them. In any case, again, I'm excited to see more from this. You know, kind of more kind of official images and pre-orders and what have you. Hot Wheels are usually always 164 or thereabouts, aren't they? Yeah, I think so, Frank. Thank you. And they do. Jada make really quality vehicles. So it is a shame that they're not doing that kind of stuff anymore, really. Maybe this has something to do with that. Do we know the price for the Skystriker, Nelson? No, we do not. There probably is one because there's pre-orders for them. If you go to Diecast Insider on Instagram, there may even be a link for it there. I'm just going to have a quick look myself. It was on this post. If you go to onestopdiecast.com, pre-orders are there. Let's have a look. One Stop. I might as well do this while we're here. One Stop. That's the number one stop diecast.com. Now, obviously, it might. Oh, that's because I've spelt that completely wrong. What happened there? Okay, I missed a T out. Mr. T. OneStopDiecast.com. There we go. New in stock. Let's have a look. It looks like. Yeah, typically I can't find it. Let's just search Skystriker. Someone's already probably told me in the search. Oh, okay. The F14 had articulated wings, so very safe assumption. Thank you. No product found for Skystriker. Classic. I can't see anything on here. What was it called? Hot Wheels Premium? New pre-orders, maybe? Oh, here they are. Pop culture. Oh, it's all going to be like sealed cases of all of them. So I can't see a single, unfortunately, I can't see a single one on here. And also One Stop Shop Diecast might not be like the retail price anyway. So unfortunately, I don't know. But yeah. There you go. Right. Onwards and upwards. Actually, before we move on to Blowtorch, sorry, and that was really like teasing, that was. I just want a quick question out here. What do you want to see Hot Wheels make? Just, let me know in the comments. What Hot Wheels G.I. Joe vehicles do you want to see? I mean, are they all going to be, am I going to just get like a tirade of all the same ones? Because, it's probably going to be the case, isn't it? Everyone's going to be like, I think I've seen people say Rattler already. Jason Todd says Hot Wheels are usually 164, but those are cars. At 164, an F14 would be a little under a foot long. That's not possible. That's impossible. But this is probably closer to 1200. Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, is in the same size as a car that is 164, Jason. Not to overthink that too much, but about the same size as a van or car in that scale. Stanley says home now. I was curious if you'd go live with the news today. I mean, there's been plenty of it. So yeah, Pogo, says Frank. That's more like it. Thank you. Rattler Raven, says Chris G. Is that like a Rattler Raven? Is that like a combo of the two or one of each? Dragonfly. Actually, a Dragonfly would be absolutely superb, wouldn't it? Stanley says Rattlers. I collect A10s in many scales. That's cool. A10's a very awesome vehicle, isn't it? It's just one of the coolest like planes, man. I have such an affinity for that vehicle too. The A10 specifically, the Tank Buster, the A10 Warthog. One Pouch Man says Rolling Thunder, Cobra Bug, and Demon. Now we're talking. Now we're getting into it. Steve says the hiss of OBS. Nelson says, thanks for looking, Chris. I couldn't find the price either. Yeah, the only price is for like a batch of like, or a sealed case of all of them, and it was like $77. But it's not like I said, it's going to be I'm not sure if it's like actual standard retail pricing. Havoc says 80s Toy Boy. Now you are speaking 80s Toy Boy, you are speaking my language. A Havoc would be phenomenal. A10 Warthog says Felix. Yes, indeed. Right, yeah, cool. Just throwing it out there just to see what you guys are thinking in terms of vehicles. I wouldn't be against a Robo Skull. Could you imagine? No, I wouldn't be against something like I think a Dragonfly would be awesome. I would personally. I want to see an Eagle Hawk / Tomahawk. I want to see that personally, and I think it would be so cool to have a little mini one of those. We have been starved for Eagle Hawk Tomahawks, in my opinion. We have been starved for them. I know, obviously, we had that lovely little period in the 3-in-3, like the kind of 4-inch modern era, with the club as well, where we had the 30th Eagle Hawk, which is absolutely phenomenal. What an upgrade to a vehicle that is. On top of that, we had the Tiger Force, the Tiger Hawk as well, which is just one of the most beautiful things in the universe. Like, it's just everything. All my dreams came true with that one, I've got to admit. Sorry, I'm going to multitask. I can't. There we go. Just multitasking a little bit. Ore Striker. Yes, absolutely. USS Flag, says Joe. Good shout. Stygian said Ore Striker, sorry. Scott said, I actually drew up blueprints for an A10 for a project in my drafting class in high school. That sounds amazing. Rolling Thunder says 1,000 Wolves. Actually, a Rolling Thunder would be great in this scale, wouldn't it? Darklons of Vader, Stygian, out you go. Conquest, Felix, yes. The Pogo has been done already, Stygian, but I'll take it twice. In fact, if we're going on what people are saying the most, Pogo is in the lead now. Terradrome, says Jason. Triple T, 1,000 Wolves. Yeah, all good shouts. Whale, says Childish Landino. All good choices. Brilliant. Right then, in that case, we'll move on and we'll talk Blowtorch. Hanrahan, Timothy P, codename Blowtorch. Sorry, can't help but quote Worlds Without End whenever Blowtorch comes up. This is going to be the same thing that the problem I have when I have to talk about a specific female Dreadnought character. I always have to do a stupid quote in the accent, like every single time. And now I'm going to have to do it for this guy, aren't I? Damn it. Yeah, anyway, blowy indeed, Stygian. Pogo fans unite, bow before the mighty Pogo, indeed. Moray as well, Stygian. I like that shout too. All good shouts for the mini vehicles. Now, Blowtorch. Jay Khan posted these images of test shots of Blowtorch very recently. A few people have been concerned I've seen in comments saying that they better improve the deco. Don't worry. This is not a deco. This is like a test shot. This is like whatever they had at hand to throw in to see what it looked like. Obviously, this might be a little bit more advanced in that sense, like they're using the base color on here, and then the deco will go on top of it, sort of thing. But effectively, this is a test shot, so do not fear. It will probably look very much like the render that we've already seen officially. But yeah, this is this is obviously, like I said, a test shot with a lot of detail here. We can see a lot of kind of new aspects on this figure, and we kind of knew that anyway, looking at the render. But it's always a bit difficult because you look at it and you kind of think, are they doing something like, when you see the render, like, is that like secondary heavy? are we dealing with a lot of reuse and stuff like that? It's hard to tell a lot of the time. So with this one, you can kind of get a good idea as to what's going on here. And by the looks of things, lots of new stuff here. A few people we've got a couple of questions coming in. Helmet missing, one piece or two. I believe the top of the helmet's missing there, Stanley. I think it's like 2 pieces, isn't it? Because you can see like almost like a visor on the helmet. So what it's probably casting clear so that you can see the eyes through the eyepiece, and then they probably paint the mask over the top, and then the helmet goes over the top of the head. So it's probably just 2 parts in that sense, I'd imagine. But yeah, you can see it's kind of covering the head sculpt, which we actually do have a picture of the head sculpt, but we're not allowed to show that yet. So you'll probably see that at some point in the future, I'd imagine. But there is an image of the head sculpt out there. We just can't show it yet, unfortunately. So yeah, like I said, that will probably pop up at some point in the future. Blowy versus Torch versus 2-pack in the future. I don't know. You could do the tan and green version of Blowtorch, but what would you do with Torch in terms of redecoing? Because you'd have to do something, otherwise it would be, and it's kind of, I don't know, you've already got both the figures. I don't think that would be like a thing that they would do, because you can already get, do you know what I mean? Like you can get them single pretty easily, unless like it was like the tan and green version of Blowtorch. But even then, I'd probably save that for maybe something else. I'm not sure I'd do a re-release of Torch, unless, I don't know, actually, I don't know why you'd do a re-release of Torch. Why? Where am I looking? Where's Torch? He's over there. Bit of hair in my face. Sorry about that. What we saying in the chat? I'll wait for a retro, I think, says 49 O'Brien. I mean, he's pretty much going to look retro already, but fair enough. I have a Ghost Rider burning head that could be a good head swap for Cobra Trooper. Oh, that's a good idea. So like it looks like he's on, yeah, like he just set his face on fire. Jason Todd says, I hope the flamethrower stays that color. The green in the render was super toy-like. Again, I wouldn't necessarily hold your hopes on I wouldn't necessarily hang your hopes on them doing like this being like anything close to what we're going to see, because this is a test shot. You know, the secondary's green, for the most part. Things aren't the right color, so I wouldn't be like too attached to what you're seeing right here. Hopefully it does stay that green color, I guess, for the flamethrower, but we'll probably see in the very soon, because I imagine Blowtorch to go up for pre-order in March at some point. I'm assuming the 18th, but you never know, because they've got a presence at Toy Fair on the 1st, which I'll be at, by the way, which will be fun to do some reporting from. I would like to see the Conquest for the next HasLab, since they won't do the Skystriker, says Jim. Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see a Conquest in the future. Pre-order, not sure if I missed you talk about it, or are you going to 30 Baroness is up for pre-order? Wasn't going to mention Action J because I didn't know. So that's another bit of information. Thank you very much. 30 Baroness is now up for pre-order if you want to go get her. Link on the Facebook page somewhere. Like, we posted it very recently. All our socials will have that link somewhere. Every time Stygian types that, I laugh like a 13-year-old. Same, Jason. 49 Brian says, yeah, I hit the like, but not many others have. Yeah, hit the like. Why aren't we hitting likes? Like me. Give me the likes. I just watched that insane show with Kate recently about Belle Gibson, not to be confused with Mel Gibson. Belle Gibson. If you guys haven't checked out, I think it's called Apple Cider Vinegar, watch that show and Google the real life story as you do it. It was the most entertainment I've ever had in my entire life. I kind of knew vaguely about the news that this, it was like wellness people on Instagram, like kind of like health and wellness people on Instagram. And like, you know, that kind of like, but it's all about like this massive con that she put on. It's incredible. Go check it out. And like I said, Google the real life story as you watch it and just see what like the reality is and what the dramatization is. In any case, I don't know, why did I talk about that? I can't even remember why I spoke about that. There's a reason for it, and I've just completely forgotten. Oh yeah, that's why, because I want people to like the video. Because one of the things is she gets this like, you know, she's really after just like that love and likes and everything, and they do this thing whenever she gets like puts a post up, and like the animation is like all the love hearts and the likes and everything and all the reactions floating around, and that's what I now see when you guys like videos and stuff like that. But go check it out, it's crazy good, that show. There are Dreadnought cards that have them with a grey red camo getup, says Jeffrey. Oh yeah, like you mean for a torch repaint? Interesting. Frank says Blowtorch blast effects looks like his flamethrower shoots a stream of Fanta. Could be a nice counterpoint if Torch's blasts grape soda. I like your thinking. Stygian says Blowy and Cobra Snow Serpent Fire and Ice versus 2-pack. Stanley says Blowtorch and Snowjob 2-pack. That's hilarious. Yeah, because we all like a snow torch. The Conquest would be cool. The custom version is hard to buy into because it's small. Okay, yeah, talking about the HasLab. Stygian says the Skystriker HasLab seems like a natural next one. I'm shocked Havoc and Hammer are allegedly being considered above a Skystriker. Yeah, when I was talking about the rumors the other day, I think I incorrectly mentioned the Mobat. In actual fact, the rumor is that it's a Snowcat instead of the Mobat. Sorry about that. That was me getting my wires crossed. Apologies on that one. We talked about that on the weekly on Saturday. Anyway, Blowtorch, there he is. And looking a bit closer at everything, we can see here a few more details on those legs, which are unique. So that's pretty cool. Unique legs, what looks to be a unique waist, unique secondaries, of course, unique arms. A lot of new on this one. Unique head sculpt, loads of unique parts and accessories. It's kind of pretty cool that we're getting so much new with this one. And this is a nice close-up of that mask. Like I said, I think they're going to be doing it like this. This is probably a one piece on the front with the kind of the see-through visor, and then they'll probably paint over the bottom part of the mask is what I would imagine them to do for that. And then the helmet part would go over the top, so you've got like a two-part helmet mask, visor situation. And then, of course, that really, really cool secondary. And I kind of like, because I discussed this with Lenny and Tony on the last interview I did with them when we talked about the render for Blowtorch. We talked about these little kind of segments that we were jokingly referring to as the Centurion ports. So they had to kind of like think about what these could be and like how they would work and what they would actually, look like practically. And I think I quite like the detailing that they've done on them. They sort of look like little grenades, even though they're not that. Almost like little pins, aren't they? Little things that you hook stuff onto. But yeah, I quite like them. I think the detailing is really cool on that secondary. And I think this is going to be a pretty awesome figure, honestly, all in all. Yes, Rancid, that's right. It was Mauler, Snowcat, Havoc, and Hammer. That was, I'm just saying, we said it was Mauler, Mobat, Havoc, and Hammer on the weekly, and that wasn't the case. So yeah, I was just rolling that back. Yeah, so there you go. Is that everything for Blowtorch? I nearly said another word then. I think that's everything for Blowtorch in terms of images. Like I said, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see the actual head sculpt soon. But yeah, look, pressure vents is a good shout, Bjorn Jakob. Absolutely, pressure vents is a really good shout for those little things on those little circular things. I like that a lot. So this head sculpt has been out there. Has it been commonly seen? No, I don't think so. I don't think we've seen the head sculpt for like out in the public. I don't think we've seen the Blowtorch head sculpt yet. The render has the whole full helmet and mask on, so you don't see the head underneath. This is the first thing we're seeing here at the moment publicly, but the actual full head sculpt will probably make its way out there sooner rather than later, I'd imagine. Yeah, there you go. Well, in any case, that's pretty much everything in terms of Blowtorch. Again, I expect this figure to be kind of like fully, properly, officially promo images and pre-order sort of revealed either for the 18th or the 1st, depending on what their plans are now. I imagine the 18th is when, March the 18th is when the pre-orders will go up. Will we see these figures beforehand, maybe at Toy Fair? Possibly. I kind of hope they do some sort of thing where they show some stuff off at Toy Fair, but I feel like it's a bit weird. Kind of, it might be a little bit like weird now with, and then obviously we've got like a couple of weeks to wait for the fan event. It's all over the place at the moment, but maybe they're planning something much, much bigger, which again could happen. The way, especially the way it was worded on, when they had the delay. When are we getting Lightfoot? They gone? I don't know, but should have been in the first wave. I think I'd want a Slugger before Havoc, Hammer, etc. No, I don't know. I don't need a Slugger. Sluggers are cute, but a Havoc is rad. I want a Havoc. This wave is going to be all mystery heads, Fang Viper, Blowtorch. Oh, that's true, actually, Scott. Yes, because the Frag Viper, we haven't seen because they've said that there's a head underneath that, like an actual head sculpt under that helmet, which is awesome sounding. So I'm very excited to see what they've done with that, with the Frag Viper. Obviously, we haven't seen Blowtorch just yet. And what were the other ones? Well, Footloose we have, and Darklon technically. But then again, I'm not sure if he has anything underneath that other helmet. I think it might just be those two helmets he has. But we'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, it's a lot of mystery heads in this wave for sure. Rancid says Mauler should be the next HasLab. We need a tank to go against Hiss, and we must have Steeler soon. OG13s need to start cooking. I think, wink, wink, Rancid, that we will be well into almost completing the OG13 after 2025. That's all I'll say on that one. Classified Medi Viper or I Riot, says Stygian. Hilarious. Please, not the Havoc, do the Phantom. These are random, Chuck. I don't think that, I mean, the Havoc would be, for me, would be great, but I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. And in terms of the Phantom, that would be pretty cool, because especially it's kind of like that stealth sort of vibe, isn't it? So, yeah, it'd be kind of cool, actually. Didn't the one leaked photo of Darklon have an unmasked head sculpt? It wasn't his head. It was another head. It was a different figure they put on top of it. I really need a HasLab Night Raven. I don't remember what the head was, Jason, but it wasn't his. I really need a HasLab Night Raven, says Stygian. Yeah, Night Raven would be phenomenal. Mamba Cobra Bug. Cobra Bug would be so wild. If they did Cobra Bug, I'd love it, but it would also be mental. The Mamba, I'd be all over. I'd be all over the Mamba like a rash. I could see them doing Night Raven, James, honestly, because it's not as, like, in terms of its length, yeah, it's massive, Kitty said. Width-wise, they could definitely bring that in a bit, a bit thinner than the blooming Rattler's wings. Yeah, it was Shipwreck Test Head on Darklon. Thank you, Stanley. Give me a 5-foot-long Night Raven. I'll find room. Same. Night Raven's gorgeous. Plus, you'd have the drone. You'd have the Strato Viper. You could do Raven with it. So there would be so many cool options with that. And I said that ages ago. I didn't want Raven with the Rattler. And I know some people did, but I feel like the Night Raven is possible. I think it's going to happen eventually with HasLab. And in terms of that, a Strato Viper, a blooming Raven, and then maybe like, there'll be one. It probably won't be 4 figures, knowing the size of the blooming Night Raven, but a third figure would be anyone's guess. Maybe like some sort of ground crew, or something really neat like Paraviper or something dope like that. Anything really, really cool like that would be amazing for me. Anyway, Blowtorch's discs are heat sensors. Thank you very much, James. Yeah, I think someone else mentioned that as well, and I missed it. Thank you. I like the thought of them being like, I don't know, little mammal nipples. Anyway, that's Blowtorch. I'm going to finish there, Kitty said. Bring it to a close because we've covered all the news today. I'm just seeing any other comments coming through. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. We've talked Iron Studios very briefly with the new Storm Shadow pre-order statue, and of course more to come that they've posted on their socials, including the Baroness, Destro, and possibly Flint. On top of that, we've had Mattel's Hot Wheels Skystriker to talk about, which was crazy, and leaked Blowtorch images. My goodness, it's just like non-stop in the G.I. Joe community at the moment, isn't it? It's awesome. Keep it coming. And it's only Monday. Jeez. The weekly might be massive at this rate if any more things happen. In any case, stick with us. We'll keep you informed late in the day, but eventually. And yeah, I'll probably catch you guys on whatever the next one will be. Probably this week if there's any news bursts. And if not, I'll see you on Saturday for the weekly. But I'll probably pop up at some point to be like, oh, didn't expect to see me here, did you? Anyway, stay fresh cheese bags. Actually, before I go, you can still stay fresh cheese bags, of course. But before I actually disappear, shall we quickly go through what we know so far? So, of course, in terms of listings, nothing has changed since the last time we spoke. So there's not much point doing this because nothing has changed. So nothing's changed here, nothing's changed here, nothing's changed here, and nothing has changed here. So there you go, completely caught up. One more thing I will say, and I will throw out there, one more little bit of promo I want to do while I'm here. We at the Full Force and the wonderful Brian Sauer at Codename Iowa have combined forces to bring you this awesome, amazing Aaron Ironblood t-shirt to commemorate and homage our wonderful and late friend Aaron Dietrich. Now, all the proceeds will be going to the Dietrich family. Links are in the descriptions and pretty much anywhere you can find it. You can just go to codenameiowa.com and go to the store there, and this t-shirt will be right at the top. All of the proceeds for this t-shirt will go to the Dietrich family, who of course are going through it in all sorts of different ways when it comes to this kind of stuff, because when you lose somebody, it's not just a situation where it's not just the kind of emotional kind of torment and heartbreak you got to go through, but also there's a monetary aspect to that as well, with all sorts of different things. So we wanted to really help in some way, and this could be a really good way of helping them as well, because like I said, all proceeds will go to the Dietrich family. And it's a really cool t-shirt. It's Aaron Ironblood, for goodness sake. So yeah, please check it out if you want to do something really good for the community, for the family, and just in general. Then please go check it out and order it. Now that is a pre-order, and those pre-orders will end on March the 9th. So you've got plenty of time, but please get in there, grab one, and yeah, we'd be hugely grateful. And of course, so will the family as well involved. So there you go. Cool. Okay. Right then. I will bring it to a close there. Thank you very much for joining me for Iron Studios Blowtorch Hot Wheels news. Stay fresh cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Laters. That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.